Hello there, I am Dennis Munene, and we are about to start a little interview about the LGBTQ status in South Africa. And I'm gonna be joined by Zawadi all the way from South Africa. So let me invite her. Zawadi, Zawadi Earth, Zawadi Earth. Keep in mind that we are going live with Zawadi Art on the way from South Africa, and myself, I am currently live here in Kenya. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Maybe yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank God. I think you look much more beautiful in person than on picture.
Oh, much. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
must welcome.
You don't look like yourself.
Sorry?
I'm saying that you look good too.
Wow. Thank you. So currently, before I picked into your DM to request for your interview, I did go over your profile and I realized like you are kind of obsessed with art. Maybe before we start our official discussion, you can just highlight some little bit about that.
I'm an artist. I'm a painter.
Okay.
I'm also a poet
Mm.
and a writer. So
Wow.
art has been a part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think I started with like painting on canvas. That's how I
Okay.
discovered my passion for painting. And
Okay.
then I went on to explore more, like painting my clothes
Mm-hmm.
and also like my skin. Like
Oh.
I paint on my body. So I took the art from the canvas to myself
Oh.
and just make it to surround me, like be it on my clothes, be it on my skin, and just
Mm-hmm.
everywhere I am, to be surrounded by paints and also just art in general, just living in art. So,
Wow,
yeah.
that's nice. And talking of arts, you also engage in arts that tend to embrace the LGBTQ community. And I've seen like a certain, I think it's your profile picture on your social media platforms. I bet like it's that on WhatsApp. You have an LGBTQ flag on your, let me say, chest.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
what?
that one was for the march.
Yeah,
Sorry to
okay,
interrupt you.
I understand.
That one was for the march when we were protesting for the education ministry in Kenya in
Ah,
January. So yes, I had that because we were protesting. So I had to put on the flags. So I armed myself with the queer flags and also to just speak loudly about queerness and Africanness.
oh, affirmative. So,
Yeah.
meaning you do make your way to Kenya most of your time.
No, we actually did most of the things online because I met Mary Lise on Twitter as well. Because it was just so instant. I saw her tweet and then she was talking
Oh,
about Minister Magoha and his comments to
mm,
ban Kenyan schools, I mean
yeah,
Kenyan kids from boarding schools. And I
affirmative.
did something about it. I said
Ah,
instantly I wanted to do something about it. Even if I'm in South Africa, I wanted to do something, that will make an impact and also just change how people
yeah,
view queerness in Africa and the world.
uh-huh. Affirmative. I like that. So, if I may ask, what is the status of the LGBTQ community in South Africa as compared to Kenya? And just talking on that topic, as we all know, Kenya, according to the president of Kenya, the LGBTQ community is a non-issue. But but to us, I believe it's an issue, and we deserve some, some attention. We deserve rights. Is it the same
Yes.
way in South Africa, or maybe in South Africa you are being embraced and the LGBTQ community is being recognized and giving and being given the respect it deserves, rather?
Well, I would say that we do get recognition. We are visible in South
Mm.
Africa. We have pride marches. We have, even in series, TV,
Wow.
YouTube, some of our YouTube, the content is adding queerness,
Mm.
and it's not just now, because I think there was this the broadcast network in South
Mm.
Africa, SABC1, was airing this series where they talked about the issues of homosexuality. There was a lesbian couple there, and then they even talked about lesbians or queer people being
Yeah.
fired from work and
Mm.
the brutal hate crimes that have been happening. So the visibility is there, and the legislation is also celebrating us, but people and their perceptions, because we are a religious nation as well. So most of the people would look to religion and to use it as a justification for hating queerness.
Mm.
So I would say that in terms of visibility, South Africa, we were a bit ahead, but we still face these crimes. We still face hate crimes. We still face gang rapes, and queers are killed. Because last
Mhm.
year
Oh, sorry.
alone, there were a couple of queer people who have been killed,
Sorry
in
about
South
that.
Africa. So we are still facing this problem, like Africa as a whole, and even the world, you know.
Mhm.
So it's a problem.
Do you have vocal people in South Africa who are fighting for the LGBTQ rights? Because I can mention here in Kenya, I know that you know that we have vocal people such as McKenna and Jerry. We have
Mhm.
how do you call this guy of Sauti Sol? Chimano. You also, I
I
think you don't know Chimano.
don't think so, but I'll double check. I'll see. I
Uh,
don't think I know.
what's of McKenna?
So please repeat that.
McKenna and Jerry. You know McKenna and Jerry?
McKenna, yes, I know McKenna and Jerry. Yes.
Yeah, sure. And talking about that, I'm glad I did have the time to get you. I mean, you did reply to my request simply because I've been trying to reach these people such as McKenna and Jerry and Chimano, as I told you,
Okay.
via email, via their Instagram inboxes, WhatsApp, but they never replied. I don't know why, because I believe they are significant people in what I'm about to do. As I told you, or maybe I can elaborate to the viewers, maybe they don't know. I'm doing a LGBTQ documentary, stroke a film, that is aimed to answer questions that if the LGBTQ people are welcomed in the churches. So, as you heard, I'm sure you know the Pope, who is at the top hierarchy of the Catholic Church. So he did utter comments that the LGBTQ people should be accepted into society, in their church, and as well in their families. So you, as an advocate or as an LGBTQ member, what is your take on that? Do you feel welcomed in the church as an LGBTQ member who has come open to the public?
Well, I think it's about time. I honestly think it's overdue. Queer people should be accepted everywhere,
Yeah,
and not just the churches. They should be accepted everywhere. But
yeah,
because we live in a world where humans are basically classified into male and female,
hmm,
and then it causes a separation. And it's like even those people who classify the heterosexuals, I would say, because they
hmm,
are on the safe side, they are abiding by this classification. And now we, the humans who are saying we won't abide by this classification, we are
yeah,
being hated on. And then people see it as like we are making up stories, we are choosing to be ourselves, but they're not
sure,
looking at the fact that humans are humans, but they're being classified to be something else.
sure,
And it kind of denies the whole fact that we are all human,
hmm,
so
yeah,
this whole classification in itself, and the Bible is the one that carries this classification.
sure,
It's the book, it's the validation of this classification. It's
hmm,
the proof that the the patriarchy can even stand on and say, no, this is what has been created.
yeah,
So they can say, they can deny our existence based on that classification. So
yeah,
I think queer people belong everywhere. They
yeah,
belong
sure,
everywhere without any explanation, without any questions. And the church should be the one, because they are accommodating, right? They are
yeah,
the
sure,
ones that are bringing light to people. They are
hmm,
the ones that are bringing comfort because they are doing the Lord's work. So why are they not accepting people? Why
sure.
are they segregating people? Why is there
Sorry, I think I lost you. Um, hello, hello. I think I lost you, but
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I think there's a certain issue with your network. But as for now, I can
Hello.
hear you. Can you hear me too? Um, Hope to get her soon. Oh God. Hello once more. I am Dennis Nene, way back in Kenya, and we had some technical issues. I was having an interview with Zawadi from South Africa, who was trying to elaborate much more about the LGBTQ status in South Africa. So let me try to invite her once more.
Hi.
Hello there. Um,
Hi. Yeah, the connection is just terrible.
oh, you had some issues with the network connection.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did.
oh, but right now I'm sure it's more than stable.
Yes, yes. It's better now.
I don't know why such things happen simply because the last time I was having an interview with an an American rather revolutionist for the LGBTQ, the same thing happened.
Oh,
But
shame. Sorry.
but if you were doing comedy, trust me, it could have gone from the start to the end without any network issues.
Yeah. It's sabotage.
Yeah, sure. So oh, you have a beautiful smile, by the way. Let me just comment on that.
Thank you. I know. Thank you.
Hello,
Yeah, can you hear me?
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
You're most welcome. So, hoping that we shall not experience the same. Hello.
Hopefully. I'm here.
Um,
Can you hear me?
I think I just lost her again. Oh God. Uh,
Hello?
okay,
Can you hear me?
I can hardly get you.
Okay. Let's maybe try that again.
Oh God. I can hardly get you, to be honest.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Hello. Oh
Now,
God.
okay, can you
Um.
hear me now?
Oh God. Yes.
This network.
Um.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello. Hello. Here. Yeah. Yeah. I can now hear you. So I think I'll have to repeat what I just had asked you simply because I'm going to extract this so that I can put it as part of my film, simply because
Okay,
it's a masterpiece question of the film.
okay,
So do you
okay. Yeah, do you want to repeat the question?
yeah, sure. So do you feel, you as an LGBTQ person, do you feel that the or that the LGBTQ people are welcomed into the church, especially in the South African church?
Huh. No. I think that it's a
Oh God, I think uh-huh.
problem.
I just lost you.
Okay. Okay. So, can you hear me now?
Um,
I'm losing you.
I'm losing you too. I can hardly hear you. I can hear you uttering some few words, but not the whole thing which you're basically saying.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I was saying that in churches, firstly, the Bible classifies human beings
Mm,
into male and female,
yeah.
and within that, that makes it hard for people or for other human beings who don't abide by this classification to
Mhm.
move about and define themselves in life.
Yeah.
So churches, we are all how can I say, we are raised in Christian churches or religious homes. These are our parents taking us to church, and then we get to learn a religion and get to follow its ways. But then the problem is that as queers, we get to understand, we get to a point where we see that we're different. We get to see that we don't necessarily fall under this classification of male and female. And but at the same time, the person or the being that we worship, what governs our life, is classifying us. And if we don't fall under that, does that mean that we don't exist?
No.
Does that mean that we, like, but that's the tricky part, because as
Yeah.
a queer person, and also when you read about the Bible is just how can I say, the ruling theme of it is that there's only one God. And this God, you need to get as much approval of this God, or else, I don't know, your life would be meaningless. Your life would be empty. You won't feel joy. You won't be a human being. You won't be a normal human being because you're not accepting this God. So now you, as a queer person, you are not even allowed in the church, first and foremost. This is the family that teaches you this ways of religion. They take you to church. And then when you get there, you find that you don't belong. And the people, the congregation as well, is saying, you don't belong here. And their standing point is this book that you also want to praise. You want to worship this because you were taught as from a young age that there's a God, and you have to work your way to appeasing this God in order to live normally, or just to live as a human being. You want to
Sure.
be recognized. You want to belong. We all want to belong. But
Sure.
then when we are kicked out of this belonging by the creator, because the Bible was created by God, as they say, right? The
Yep.
Bible was created by God. But now when God classifies humans and then segregates everyone else, and they just choose male and female, what will happen to every other human? Because we are all human, but the thing here is that there's a classification, and people think that as queers we choose to be
Yeah.
queer because the Bible has made it to be normal, like it has naturalized this classification, that where a person won't even think when. Because I even see it with my nieces, like my nieces and nephews, they would refer to each person as either male or female, and even objects. They would want to use certain objects that are female, that are male. And I'm like, these are just objects. How can we move away from this classification? Like, if there's no classification, does that mean that person or that thing doesn't exist?
No.
Is this what we're saying? If we're saying that a human being who doesn't classify as a male or female doesn't exist or is not recognized, what are
Yes,
we
sir.
saying to humanity? Yeah, what are we saying to humanity? So I think churches are the biggest problem. I would say problem. And I know that with religion, there's so much guilt, there's so much fear, and you're supposed to fear the. Okay, can you hear me?
Oh God. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So with religion, it's like you're supposed to fear God. That's the whole thing. There's fear, there's guilt, there's certain things that you're not supposed to do. And it extends even further as a woman, because now they classified this female and male. And now as a female, there's certain things that you also have to fit into. It's like boxes
Yeah.
that they put, and everyone should fit themselves into these two boxes.
Yeah, sure.
So it's like, how is it possible? How do you expect people? We are a variety of beings. We are different. We have different personalities. We
Sure.
have different talents and skills, but we're just seen as either male or female. That's an injustice to humanity and being human. I feel
Sure.
like it's an injustice to existence. Because
Affirmative. Oh God.
hello,
Hello. Hi.
hi.
Uh,
Can you hear me? Oh, this network is just terrible. I was even suggesting that we find an alternative. I don't know, because it's taking too long. and it's really terrible.
Yeah, sure. I understand, but the good thing I believe is that you have answered the question which I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah, so the other ones was just, were just micro topics, but the main topic you have just answered. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna extract like the whole interview which you have had, and I'm gonna put the basic parts in my film. So, do you watch the BBC documentaries?
Yes, I do. I've watched it.
Yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, sure. It's gonna be something like that. But I have to appreciate. Thank you for sparing your time to communicate with me. I have to say, I'm in love with everything about your face. Let me just comment on that. uh, yeah, I do appreciate. Yeah. So, yeah. So,
Okay, cool.
see
So
you
you
next
have
time. Thank you for
everything you
joining me.
want.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
You're good with
Uh,
everything.
sorry.
I'm saying you're good with everything. You found the material. You good.
Yeah. Though I did not get you, let me assume that you said a good thing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's terrible again. So we can end the live. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Chat soon.
Sure. Bye.
Chat soon.
Okay.
Bye.